Hey there folks, Rel here. This is your weekly update for May 27th, 2014. Last Monday, the ReachCast had an interview with Matt Higby, the creative director of PlanetSide 2, and for those who don't know, the ReachCast is a PlanetSide 2 podcast hosted by Torx and the Derringer, and it's very, very professional, great production value, and they've been doing this for a long time now. This week, since Matt Higby was on, most of it was just, it was a big question and answer session basically, which is a little bit outside of what normally happens, but Higby got to share a lot of interesting information about what they're working on, some things that they're planning for the future, and just the developer's general outlook on the game. You can catch the whole podcast at ReachCastShow.com on their podcast page, and if you have the time, it's definitely worth a listen. That link and all of the links in today's update will be listed in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. Speaking of podcasts though, last night I was on the line with ExCast, and that's a podcast run by Outfit X from Connery. I won't ruin too much for you, but if you've ever been interested in finding out a little bit more about me as a person, as an individual, things that I don't normally share, or if you just want to hear me talk shop about PlanetSide 2 with a few other people, then you can check out that link. And it was a lot of fun. I want to thank them again for having me on the show, so thank you very much, guys. Unrelated to podcasts, the Recursion stat tracker has a new .com address, and there were some issues using a .tk domain, so the new home of the Recursion stat tracker is just recursiontracker.com. So if you've ever watched It's Murda livestream or Mukas run through his killstreak videos, you'll notice that there are badges and voiceovers that kind of commentate on the beatdowns that they're handing out, and this is coming from the Recursion stat tracker. It's just one of the things that it does, and the other is that it tracks your stats for each session, which is really cool. So it can be used as an overlay for streamers, or it can be used on a personal level to add a little bit of spice to your game. If you're wondering about how to get your hands on the Recursion stat tracker or just want to see more of what it's all about, then you can visit the site at recursiontracker.com. Nvidia finally released a new official driver that fixes the black screen hang that has been present for months and months now. So instead of using 332.21, you can feel free to upgrade your drivers. I think there's something a little bit wonky with it still though. The responsiveness of aiming at sub 40 frames per second seems to be really sluggish. I found though that if I toy with the vertical sync and the smoothing settings, it fixes the problem. I really have no idea why, because it doesn't really matter if these things are on or off. They just need to be refreshed maybe? I don't know. But that's just my personal experience. If you have any experience with the new drivers yourself, then leave a comment down below so other people know about potential issues and such before they upgrade. The last bit of community news that I would like to mention is that the voting for the EarAxis Literary Awards is coming to a close on June 5th. The community was tasked to write some lore for PlanetSide 2, and there's going to be a handful of 2,000 Station Cash prizes given away to the top authors, as well as a Station Cash prize given away to the top voter. So if you read the submissions, you vote, you provide solid feedback, then you can walk away with $20 worth of Station Cash, which is pretty cool. Also, according to the website, the winner is going to get their story featured on PlanetSide2.com's main site, and maybe even have their story become part of the official canon. So if you enjoy reading or you're just curious about what people have come up with, then visit the site linked in the description below. As far as updates go, you may have already noticed, but implants are a thing now. If you're a little bit confused as to what implants are, what they can do for you, and how you can get them, you can take a look at either the PlanetSide 2 wiki article on it, which is linked in the description, or you can just click the little help button at the top of your interface in-game when you have the nanocycler open. I'm planning to review all of the implants. I've already reviewed the first one that you get, which is the enhanced targeting implant, and there should be another video out later in the week with some tips on how to conserve and gather energy. Given how many people still seem to be confused about the whole thing, hopefully those resources will be helpful. On the casual channel, we're currently playing through Transistor, which is absolutely amazing so far. The episodes are really long, but if you're interested in taking a look at that, you can visit the channel at youtube.com/casualrel. That's where all my Let's Play content goes. That's where all of my not PlanetSide 2 content goes. But aside from that, last thing is that we had a little kill streak, which is just some tinkering around with the T7 mini chain gun after crash landing a Mossy into a bunch of max units, which honestly I think should be an official sport in PlanetSide 2. This Wednesday, I will not be doing a live stream per usual. Instead, I'm going to try to get a handful of people to help run a whole bunch of tests on the public test server. So if you're part of the Steam group, then we'll be making an announcement about that later on. Plan on that happening at normal streaming times, so somewhere starting around 6 p.m. Eastern. I also thought about streaming the testing just on twitch.tv, but I don't want people to grief us, so it's probably not going to happen. So if you're not a part of the Steam group and want to be a part of it, participate in these volunteer opportunities, then I've also linked that in the description as well. But that's all I really found to share this past week, and so I'd like to leave you with a short clip of where I'm just trying to keep enemies from taking up defensive positions in a corner tower. Thanks very much, folks. Rel signing off.
Generator